In this video, I'll walk you through how I made a gold shimmer top with balloon sleeves out of an old, oversized romper. Let's start with the design. I first saw this gold top being worn by a YouTuber who is no longer on the platform. Out of respect for them, I will not be showing their face or the full footage from the video. This gold top seems to be made out of a lurex knit fabric. It has a mock neck collar, slight balloon sleeves, and elongated cuffs. I'll be aiming to match both the fabric and the design in my self-drafted top. I'll be making my top out of this thrifted romper. The romper's lurex overlay is the exact fabric I've been looking for, and the generous size of the romper should give me enough fabric for the top. I started by seam ripping the pieces of the romper apart. I wound up with 2 shorts front pieces, 2 shorts back pieces, and 2 surplus front pieces. Using 2 of the shorts pieces, I traced the neckline and armholes from a shirt that fits me in order to make the bodice pattern. I folded the fabric in half, wrong side up, to ensure the symmetry of the pieces throughout the designing and cutting process. I then cut away the excess fabric and pinned the 2 pieces right sides together. In every cut that I make to the fabric, I leave even more room than the seam allowance just in case any of my measurements are wrong. You'll notice this throughout the video. To make the sleeves, I'm using the surplus front pieces because their natural shape matches what I need for a balloon sleeve. Using the surplus front piece, I traced out a bell sleeve using a basic sleeve pattern piece. I pinned it together and then cut away the excess fabric. After cutting away the excess fabric and pinning it to the bodice, I realized that the sleeve was actually too big for my arm. So I measured out a new seam from the armpit to the cuff and pinned it together. I then sewed the sleeve shut. It was time to start sewing some of these pieces together. I started by sewing the two bodice pieces together. I sewed the sleeves together and then attached them to the bodice. Before working on the collar, I decided to make a keyhole in the back of the blouse. I drew and cut out a keyhole shape, then sewed down the edges. Using excess fabric from a shorts piece, I cut and folded a strip of fabric for the collar. I cut and folded the remainder of the shorts piece into two elongated cuffs. I sewed the collar down and then attached it to the neckline. Before sewing the cuff to the sleeve, I gathered the end of the balloon sleeve by sewing a basting stitch along the edge and then pulling the fabric together along the thread. I pinned the cuffs to the gathered end of the sleeves and sewed them together. I sewed the cuff and sleeve together at the edge, then sewed the cuff shut at the inside seam. I used more excess fabric to sew down a thin strip for button loops, then used a loop turner to turn it inside out. To finish the button loops, I pinned and sewed the button loops together. Then I tucked these into a collar opening and sewed the collar shut. Finally, I hand sewed 2 buttons to the other end of the collar. Now let's look at the finished blouse. How do you think it turned out? With my design, I decided to go with longer cuffs and fuller sleeves than the original blouse. My blouse also ended up being slightly cropped due to the length of the fabric that I was working with, but high-waisted pants hide this detail really well. If you like this style of video, give it a like and let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking and subscribing so that this channel might eventually achieve partner status.